You know what? I'm sorry, but this is phenomenal that the sort of anger I keep hearing from Republican voters about this imperial President Obama who breaks the law supposedly in order to give citizenship, or I'm sorry, not citizenship, but the right to work and stay in this country to immigrant kids. That is an imperial presidency who flouts the law. But no, Donald Trump should just go flout the law and torture people.
Did we flout the laws of Pakistan when we got Osama bin Laden?
Wait.
Yes.
Sally is right. Sally is right.
Did we flout the laws of Pakistan when we went for Osama bin Laden?
You're talking about someone running for the presidency of this country
I'm talking about
saying he wants to break international law as a matter of habit and change the law he doesn't like in order to torture human beings.
I'm talking about an incumbent president of the United States who went in there and shot somebody in the face, right?
Okay.
And broke Pakistan law to do it. And you think that's fine?
There's an enormous moral difference between going after the world's worst terrorist who is at large and torturing someone who is strapped to a table.
No. Jeffrey's making an interesting point, though. You're making a moral equivalency argument here, and he's saying either you do it or you don't.
Hi, everybody. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I thought this was an interesting clip where they're debating the assassination of Osama bin Laden. And I thought that you would want to see it. The full clip is going to be at the end of me speaking here. But I thought that you would also want to see the Donald Trump rally that they're talking about in Orlando, Florida. It happened earlier today. I have posted that full rally, or Donald Trump's full speech from that rally, at the alternate Mox News YouTube page, which is you'll find a clickable link in the text body of this video. It says right below this video right here, there's a little box and it says alternate Mox News YouTube page. Click here. Click there and it'll take you right over there and you'll find the Donald Trump rally from today, his speech. Which he seemed to be pretty pumped up. He really wants to win Florida. There's no doubt about that. And I think he knows that if he gets Florida, it's over for everybody else. So he looked pretty pumped up there. The crowd seemed pretty pumped up. If you want to see that, it's posted at the alternate Mox News YouTube page. There's a clickable link in the text body of this video. Please go there and subscribe now so that if something happens to this YouTube page, because there is a current copyright violation against it, then I won't lose you guys, because that's the hard part of all this, the hundreds and thousands of hours going bye-bye in the blink of an eye. All the broken links across the internet. Good plan, Google. But the hardest part is losing you guys. So please go to the alternate Mox News YouTube page, of which there is a clickable link in the text body of this video, and subscribe to that page. That way, if something happens to this page, you know where to find me. And plus, all the stuff that's over 15 minutes that I can pull down off the C-SPAN is being posted over there. So there's a bunch of stuff from CPAC today. Marco Rubio spoke at CPAC, and I have from yesterday Ted Cruz and Ben Carson and Carly Fiorina and Paul Ryan from the day before. So if any of that stuff is interesting to you, it's being posted over at the C-SPAN Junkie Mox News alternate YouTube page. So please go and subscribe to that. And there's another Donald Trump rally coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is, no, at 6 p.m. Pacific. So I'll be posting that around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific, and I'm not sure exactly where that rally is going to be at, but it should be after most of the polls are closed today. So we'll see how pumped up he is, and if he takes questions or what he's going to do there. Thanks very much for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. The clip that I was talking about at the beginning of the video is coming up now. Please, someone put something in my bowl so that to buy me lunch or something today. That'd be very nice of you. It's easy to do. In the text body, there's a clickable link to make a quick contribution to Mox News to help keep Mox News strong going into the future. And I thank you all for your continued support and participation here at Mox News, because it's you guys that have kept Mox News strong. It's because of you guys that I've been able to do this for 10 years. And it's you guys that really give Mox News value. Because if you guys weren't here, this would be a completely meaningless exercise. So I thank you all. Stay cool. One of these days this war is going to end. Till that day.
Trump. There's another challenge for Trump that Rubio and Cruz are playing on more now, and the establishment as well, which is consistency of message. We've talked about this a lot, Jeffrey. The new old hot point here is where he is on torture. We know where he was early on at the debate where he said waterboarding and much worse. Yay, all his people went.
Right.
Then he started to walk it back, and he said, well, I know that we're a nation of laws.
Right.
Now he just said something else today. Not coincidentally, while he's trying to rev people up again, here's what Donald Trump just said today.
You know, as far as the waterboarding is concerned, we have to stay within the laws. We have to stay within the laws. Hey, who here thinks that ISIS, who chops off heads, who drowns people in a cage, who here thinks that ISIS stays within the laws, right? We're like a bunch of babies, but we're going to stay within the laws. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to have those laws broadened because we're playing with two sets of rules. Their rules and our rules. And those laws are going to be broadened.
Jeffrey? When he is talking he's talking about the Geneva Convention.
Yes, and humanity, basic humanity too. There's
but
that.
let's just stick with this small level here first of the Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
We know what he's doing here. Works with the crowd.
Right.
Is this dangerous for him, given this new observation of where he is on policy, whether he understands what it is to be commander-in-chief, all of these military people getting nervous about him giving illegal orders? Is this the right move?
I don't think that he makes a mistake, politically speaking, that he makes a mistake when he does this, because he's talking to his base, he's energizing his base, and all the folks you've just cited, good folks, I'm sure, and certainly they have a point, but they are, in this context, the establishment. They are the elites.
The military command?
Sure, leaders of the military are part of the establishment, are they not?
Do you know? I don't know. That's my question, because I don't think they get thrown in with politicians. You know, big generals who come out and say, this is the wrong thing to do.
I'm just saying, in terms of political pitch,
right?
His people understand what he's saying. And certainly there is a feeling that there are two sets of rules, right?
But you
I mean, when you're dealing with enemies that are cutting people's heads off,
we should be just as bad as them. I mean, this is phenomenal to me. No, I mean, this is sort of on a moral level phenomenal. And you may very well be right that this plays to his base. Then you know what? Shame on him for stoking that fear and anger in his base. And you know what? I'm sorry, but you know, this is phenomenal that the sort of anger I keep hearing from Republican voters about this imperial President Obama who breaks the law supposedly in order to you know, give citizenship, or I'm sorry, not citizenship, but the right to work and stay in this country to immigrant kids. That is an imperial presidency who flouts the law. But no, Donald Trump should just go flout the law and torture people. Did
we flout the laws of Pakistan when we got Osama bin Laden?
Wait.
Yes.
Sally is right. Sally is right.
Did we flout the laws of Pakistan when we went for Osama bin Laden?
You're talking about someone running for the presidency of this country
I'm talking
and
about
saying he wants to break international law as a matter of habit and change the law he doesn't like in order to torture human beings.
I'm talking about an incumbent president of the United States who went in there and shot somebody in the face, right?
Okay.
And broke Pakistan law to do it. And you think that's fine?
There's an enormous moral difference between going after the world's worst terrorist at large and torturing someone who is strapped to a table.
No. Jeffrey's making an interesting point, though. You're making a moral equivalency argument here, and he's saying either you do it or you don't. But I'm saying even by comparing it that way, you're making that a legitimate basis. And Jeffrey's point is, hey, if it's okay sometimes, then don't yell at him now for giving it in a different context. What's your take?
Well, in addition to this being morally reprehensible, and we can argue about the legality of it, there's the other thing that I never understand why Trump supporters don't have a problem with Trump clearly making promises he cannot keep. Yeah. This is one example, right? He says he's going to do something really grandiose. Someone probably whispers in his ear, you can't do that. You're not going to be able to do that. And so he comes out and he says, well, we're going to stay within the laws, but wink, wink, under President Trump, I'll magically be able to change not only our laws, with the help of Congress, I presume, but also international laws. I mean, if you are an ardent Trump supporter, don't you want to believe that he can actually do all the things he says he's going to do? That doesn't bother you, that he will come up against Congress, the Supreme Court, international law? I mean, it just, I can't move these folks on the morality, and I don't know that they're going to care about the legality. But don't they care that he's going to fail on all of his promises?
That was a very interesting point about that from that quote, which was that he was acknowledging that he would have to go to Congress at the least, you know, to begin to do this. And it's an issue that exists really across the board. If you want to build a wall, Congress is going to have to appropriate the money. If you want to deport 12 million people, that is enormously expensive. I think the best estimates are you get up to about 500,000 a year without going to Congress. Is Paul Ryan, with his views about immigration, going to appropriate the money for Donald Trump to deport 11 or 12 million undocumented immigrants? And so you have this question over and over where he talks about things that he wants to do, but talks very little about the process of actually getting it through the political system.
Yeah.
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.